This is the Fuji X-T4 camera that was released in April 2020, and to date it's Fuji's flagship APS-C camera. Ever since the recent release of the Sony A7 IV or the FX3 or the A7S III, I can't really open my YouTube feed without having at least one video that tells me how awesome that camera is. Yes, the Sony cameras are good, maybe the best in their class, and frankly I'd love to use them, but to be fair, when you're starting out, switching from one system to the other is not a light decision. Lenses, mount, cages, rigs, gimbal compatibility, workflow compatibility, these are all things that you need to consider. So after weeks of debating, I came to the conclusion that it's just fear of missing out.
A7 IV.
The A7 IV, and this
Sony A7 IV.
Sony A7 IV.
Of the Sony A7 IV.
So here we are again. The A7 IV is released, and here I am with my X-T4 running after the hype train without my ticket. Unfortunately, I don't have a Sony A7 IV to test, but luckily there's one person who has tested every single camera out there and provides valuable information for us to make a good comparison. Thank you, Gerald.
Quality, I already mentioned that you're getting a 7K oversample in the full frame.
The X-T4 footage is stunning. I love it for cinematic work or for commercial work. I love the dynamic range. I love the colors. And I also know that the next Fuji flagship will likely have 422 internal, therefore I'm not worried. And also, it's probably cheaper to upgrade to that future flagship camera than swapping out all my lenses. So full frame, that's a valid debate, but to be fair, that was the debate as well when I was in between the A7 III and the X-T3, and I never regretted it, so I think that's out of question. Number 3, better autofocus. I mean, yes, that's without a question. Although I'm perfectly okay with the Fuji autofocus, I can't deny the fact that Sony has the best autofocus currently on the market. But since I actually shoot most of my videos using manual focus, I just trust the focus peaking a lot more. Rolling shutter, this is where the Fuji actually shines. Looking at some of the tests that Gerald has done, the A7 IV is not a beast when it comes to rolling shutter. I know I can shoot in crop mode and then the rolling shutter is much better, but that's defeats the purpose of choosing a full frame. The two cameras actually have a lot in common. They both have in-body stabilization, articulating 3-inch displays, and similar EVFs. So the other things like overheating, battery life, recording time limits, that's not something that ever bothered me with the Fuji, and I don't think, these are things that are important to me, therefore I don't look at those things. What I do look at is the price. The X-T4 is about $1,700, whereas the Sony A7 IV is $2,500, right? The difference there is about $800, which is approximately the price of an Atomos Ninja 5 plus cables and an SSD. That's 422, 10-bit, internal, no recording time limits, best-in-class codecs. So I'd also need to sell all my lenses to rebuild the collection and probably sell a few kidneys to afford it. And all of this to be able to jump on that hype train, well, I mean, to be fair, I don't think it's worth the upgrade. A new camera will not make me a better filmmaker, it will not get me more subscribers, nor more client work. Therefore, I think people just need to sit and relax. We are in 2022. Loads of good cameras are going to be announced soon, but frankly, the technology is so advanced today that even iPhones are perfectly capable. I only have one camera, therefore the intro to this video was actually shot on an Osmo Pocket. Was it a big difference? Influencers today are doing a great job in highlighting the great features in the new product, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to drop what you have and run to the store to buy it. Use what you have, get the most out of it, and don't let the fear of missing out take over. Your goal is to create. Until then, see you in the next one.